Across France, there are thousands of beautiful chateaux, many forgotten and abandoned.
Look at this.
Now they're being brought back to life by adventurous Brits.
It can only get easier after this, can't it?
They're taking on the challenge.
It's always fun.
To transform these once unloved buildings
It's amazing.
into incredible homes
The feel of the room is lovely.
and businesses. There'll be triumphs
Oh.
Well done.
and setbacks.
Don't break the door.
I know, I know.
But however hard the going gets,
Got it? All that worry.
Panic over.
those who've made the move get to live the dream as custodians of their very own castle. Today, we meet some new faces, tackling an enormous project.
I hate this. You know I hate this.
One owner is put through her paces in chateau maintenance.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna get it straight.
Away.
And at this chateau, there's a challenging situation
This side has got delicate things that could break.
in the push to finish a huge renovation.
Go round me, go round me.
That's it. Got it?
Yeah, I've got it, I've got it, I've got it.
Nestled deep in the heart of France sits the magnificent 19th century Chateau Joli. Set in 17 acres of parkland, it boasts 15 bedrooms and 3 outbuildings. It was bought 3 years ago for £308,000 by American-born Vanessa, who works in financial services, and her barrister husband, Ben, along with their 9-year-old son, Max.
This was the first place we saw. And it was unmatchable.
It was un coup de cœur, as they say in French. Effectively, it grabbed us by the heart, and we knew that this was the place for us.
Due to work commitments, the couple have been splitting their time between their home in London and their chateau, but are desperate to swap their city life for country life permanently.
The dream is to be able to leave the rat race behind and come and live and work here. That's the goal.
Located in Limousin, an area famed worldwide for its prime beef cattle, the couple have spent the past few years renovating the outbuildings into their private accommodation, leaving no time or money to work on the chateau itself.
The chateau, when we bought it 3 years ago, was nearly in the state it's in today, which was a state of disrepair. We've done a lot of work converting the building opposite so that we have our own base.
The view was to get a place set up so that we would enjoy being here.
6 months ago, Ben and Vanessa finally started to work inside the chateau, starting with a room that originally stole their hearts.
What I love about the ballroom is the possibility of what it's going to be. We get to do this once. This is a big deal. We have to get it right.
To help them bring the ballroom back to its former glory, they have enlisted Peter, a professional decorative artist. So far, he has completed a stunning ceiling fresco in keeping with the 19th century ballroom, with an added personal touch.
It's basically got a cloud scene with individual figures then painted around the edge, with a Lady Justice in the middle and our son as a little cherub. The 2 figures on horses, that's my son Jake and my daughter Elsa. Jake and Elsa live with their mum in St Albans, and they've been out here, I think, every summer since we got the place. I think they like their pictures being up there, although they're teenagers now, so they don't let you know 100% what they're thinking.
The fresco may be finished, but there is still plenty of work to be done to complete the ballroom ceiling.
Today, I've got to start preparing the band of mouldings around the central painting for the next phase of decoration. Scrubbing it all down with sugar soap, getting rid of all the flaky paint and the old tar and spiders and cobwebs.
Ben and Vanessa hope to finish painting the central moulding before friends arrive in a week's time to see how the ballroom is progressing.
It's very hot up here. It's much hotter up here than it is down on the ground.
How's it going?
Not bad. You fancy coming up?
It's like 25 feet, right?
Yeah.
And with Vanessa not a fan of heights, Ben has to tackle the plaster work alone.
I've got to move the scaffold now already. You can't reach out too far, so you're limited to doing this much at a time.
Has anything fallen off?
Nothing serious.
No, that's not funny.
No plaster's fallen off, if that's what you mean.
Okay.
The plaster's quite solid.
Because it's really quite rough what you're doing.
I'm being very careful.
But I...
That's the paint. It's just paint flaking.
So what do you think? Are you going to finish it tonight?
It's taken a lot longer.
Every single thing we do takes a lot longer than you think it's supposed to.
It's going to take me longer than I thought to finish it, but I should still be able to start priming it tomorrow. Yeah, it's slightly boring, hot, tiring work, but it has to be done.
At least it's a start, one step closer to restoring this impressive ballroom ceiling. In northwest France sits the stunning 19th century Chateau La Perrière. With 20 rooms and 10 acres of land, it has been lovingly renovated into a luxury holiday retreat by interior designer Karen and husband Paul, who runs a workplace design company, along with help from their children Katie and Tom.
We dream big, and our dreams never stop, and therefore I don't think the renovations here will ever stop, because there'll always be more to do, always.
Perched on a hilltop in the Loire Valley, last time we met them, Karen and Paul, with help from son Tom, renovated a stable block
Oh, that is disgusting.
into a space for parties and weddings.
We did it. Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for coming.
This year, there's a big change afoot. The couple they employed to look after the chateau while the family are working in the UK are moving on, so Karen has to take the reins as caretaker.
I've got to learn how to maintain the chateau on my own, because there isn't going to be anyone else that's going to do it. I guess there's lots of anxiety I have about whether I will be able to meet the standard that our guardians have already set over the years.
I have high hopes for you. I reckon you will.
Do you?
Yeah.
Luckily for Karen, her 16-year-old son Tom is a dab hand when it comes to chateau upkeep. And with Paul busy working back in England, it's the perfect opportunity for Tom to give his mum a crash course in chateau maintenance.
I'm going to be a really good student,
Open-minded,
open-minded, good listener.
hopefully.
With Tom heading off to college soon, it's time Karen faced up to the challenge of running the chateau, plus its 10-acre estate. And having never operated any of the outdoor machinery before,
Ready to learn how to use the tractor?
the first thing she needs to get to grips with is the garden transport.
You're going to be reversing the tractor backwards through those two logs there.
You're joking, that's not even big enough for the trailer.
You've got enough
I
space.
need a much wider berth than that.
What happened to being open-minded, Karen?
Where are you going?
I'm going to get
Target's that way. No, other way, other way. There you go, keep it going.
That's cheating.
Unfortunately for you, if that was a cement wall, you wouldn't be able to just move it.
Tractor sort of mastered, it's straight to work on a big gardening project. They need to cut back a wooded area behind the chateau. When the family bought the place 15 years ago, they painstakingly cleared a viewing point from this area to gaze over their new home.
So from here you can see the chateau, and now
You can't.
you can't see anything.
Karen's desperate to reclaim her view, but before they tackle the trees,
1, too.
It's a perfect opportunity to learn another new skill, operating the strimmer.
Seriously not comfy. Okay. Woo!
Don't go too close to the bank. For a first try, it's pretty good.
With the overgrown bank to tackle next, Karen hands over to Tom.
This hill's pretty steep. It's almost like you're abseiling.
Yeah, are you safe?
Yep.
He's very confident at climbing, so I don't need to worry too much.
Very hard work down here, Mum.
Do you think we'd be able to chop a few bits off here so we can just see the view?
Yep.
Tom swaps his scythe for a saw and takes to the tree.
Okay, so it's this one, is it?
Yeah. Kind of handy, having a son that climbs.
Timber.
Whoa! It was a nice noise, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I fall with it down the bank. Ah! Ow! Ow! Just sat on a whole load of brambles. I've got a bramble in my bum.
With the undergrowth fighting back, Karen will have to wait a while before she can enjoy the view once more. In western France sits the impressive 19th century Chateau La Grande Maison. It has 45 rooms, 3 acres of land, and is also bordered by the stunning River Dive. Situated near the Loire Valley, famed for its world-class wines.
Come on.
It's owned by musicians Ben and Billy, who run it as a luxury guest house.
Over the last 2 years, we've been adding to the fact that we're a boutique B&B. We're now also an event space. We've had some fantastic weddings here, and we're now getting into kind of the finishing touches, which is adding the honeymoon suites.
We want to draw in a couple that are going to say, right, I want to be in that bedroom, in that bathroom, pampering myself.
Oh, that's more like it. Come on.
They've already made headway, creating the opulent honeymoon suite. The structural work has been completed in the bedroom and is ready to be decorated. They've also installed a new ceiling and floor in the ensuite, all set for their luxury jacuzzi to be fitted. But before they can do that, Ben has to finish off the mammoth task of tiling.
Choose a tile.
He saved the trickiest part till last, tiling the alcove that will have lighting and shelving.
One of the challenges today is fitting the tile upside down and making sure it sets, because the last thing you want to be is relaxing in the jacuzzi and then a tile falls from the shelves. So I've got to make sure this works properly.
By sourcing the tiles directly from a quarry in Spain, they have managed to pay just €25 per square metre rather than 150. The downside is they don't have many to spare, so a steady hand is definitely needed.
So the idea is this tile's mainly held up by the back tile and held up by the side tile. And then when there's a hole here for a light, there's 3 different things holding it up, as well as the adhesive as well.
The tiles are solid marble, and with each one weighing 2.5 kilograms, Ben will have to handle with care.
Because the tiles are so heavy, I've actually done a row at a time. And I was doing 1, maybe 2 rows a day, so I've probably been doing this 5 days already.
It's a time-consuming job. Each tile must be measured and cut precisely.
Tiny little chip there, we won't see that.
There's no room for error when cutting the tiles. Ben doesn't have a lot of spares, meaning a mistake at this stage would be costly.
That's pretty good.
As well as 1 ton of tiles, Ben's using 100 kilograms of tiling adhesive. That is some serious weight.
There's a way of doing this without getting covered in it, but I haven't discovered it yet.
Now comes the most intricate part of the process so far.
What I've got to try and do is actually pretty much assemble it all at once, because everything supports each other. So this is the final one, which will hopefully hold it all together. Might be famous last words, but let's try. Be quick. I'm making this up as I go along. Hopefully this will work.
Ben's hoping that the screws will take the weight of the tile until the adhesive dries. So far, so good.
Oh, this is good.
I've got upside down tiles.
Define the laws of gravity with your tiling.
As long as they stay upside down, not on the floor.
Gosh, well done. It's very impressive, Ben.
Thank you.
You've created like a Roman public spa in here.
I have to wear togas.
The tile work is a success and another job done in their dream honeymoon suite. In central France at Chateau Joli, the moulding around the ceiling fresco has been scrubbed clean, ready for Ben to paint before artist Peter gets to work on the gold leafing.
It gets one coat of primer, and once it's had a coat of primer, it has a coat of undercoat, and then after the undercoat, it has 2 top coats.
That's a lot of painting. The intricate central moulding alone spans almost 50 feet.
Starting with the biggest room first. It can only get easier after this, can't it?
Ben certainly has his work cut out, as they've invited guests over for a drinks reception in just 5 days' time.
It's very fiddly because it's quite deep as the moulding, and you've got to cover all of it. It's not just slapping it on with a nice big brush.
Well, that looks better than it did before.
Vanessa has a huge job of her own. She set her sights on tackling the ballroom's grand 6-metre-high windows.
I just really want to know what it would be like to look at the view through a clean window. I think I might have to take the curtains down, Ben, but I don't even know how I would do that. Let me see. Oh, they come out.
There's a massive hornet up here. I don't want it to get too interested. I'm gonna hope it goes away.
Ben's not the only one struggling with unwanted help.
There's spiders. So dusty and disgusting. Oh, so gross.
Hey, how are you getting on?
It's pretty gross. Yeah, so you want help? Take a break? That's all right?
It's all right, it's all right.
If Vanessa wants the windows clean, she's going to have to face her fear of heights.
Vanessa would much rather not have to do anything at height. She has been up there, and I think she was up there for 2 or 3 hours because she hasn't built up the courage to come back down again.
Don't you see? I hate this. You know I hate this. It's not funny. Ugh. This is horrific. It's like the dirt of 1,000 years. All right. I don't know if I'm gonna get any more than this. I don't like this bit. I think coming down is worse than going up. Because it's just like, all you're doing is looking down. There. I'm done. I'm done.
Back on solid ground, Vanessa can get to work cleaning the lower windows.
I remember when Ben asked me to move in with him, it was the one condition was that we had a cleaner. And now look at me. This is crazy. All right, I have 2 really clean windows now. And the view is actually better through them. So It's going to be worth it. It will be worth it. It's just beautiful.
So it's probably about 20 hours per coat, and there are 4 coats, so that's about 80 hours work.
Yeah, you can do
That's
that.
easily doable.
Yeah. It's fine.
That's a lot of time and paint needed before the gold leafing can even begin. It's a huge job, but worth it to bring the stunning ballroom ceiling back to life. In the Loire Valley at Château La Perrière, Karen's preparing to take over the running of the place when their caretakers leave at the end of the season. Son Tom's been bringing his mum up to speed using the Chateau machinery.
No, other way, other way.
But before he leaves to start college back in the UK, Karen has another project she needs his help with.
Much to my husband's and my son's disgust, I bought a rather old, dishevelled, stinky snooker table. I've got some ideas of making it into a poker table. I think it's going to look really smart.
The family play a lot of poker for fun, so this is something for both them and their paying guests to enjoy.
So first we're going to take off the brackets. Seriously, my first screw and it won't even come off. So this is why I'm going to miss you, Tom.
Yep.
Because there are going to be jobs that I'm just not going to be able to do. I can do that one, because I can't get that one out. That's why I can't do it, because he's got muscles.
There we go.
With a bit of teamwork, the bumper cushions are soon off.
It's really satisfying breaking up a ball table and then putting it back together again.
Thrashing it.
This will be interesting. We don't know the state of the slate underneath.
Oh, so gross. It is disgusting.
It has been cracked, and I think they've tried to fix it, Mum.
Just as well we're not using it as snooker, isn't it?
After a thorough scrub down, the table is ready for its new felt fabric.
Tom, do you want to do this bit? You're handing me over the reins to the garden. Do you want me to hand you over the reins to doing your own laundry?
I'd give that a pass as long as I can.
Well, it was worth a try. There's no holding him back with the staple gun, though.
Good job. That's nice and tight. It's lovely and flat. I think we've done a pretty good job of that.
With the hard work done, Tom's free to get back to the gardening, leaving Karen to tackle the rest of the table alone. Back at Chateau Joli, after 5 days of hard graft, Ben's finally finished priming the ceiling mould and made a start on the coloured top coat, ready for artist Peter to begin the gilding.
We bought effectively a large tester pot of this yellow paint so that we could put it up on the ceiling and see how it looked.
When we put it up, it was very strong and really difficult to imagine that strong color all the way around the painting.
Unsure of the overall effect, they're keen for Peter to give them a taster of how the ceiling might look once it's adorned in gold.
Now we're going to lay the gold.
So how do you put that on?
Well, I use a very fine brush which just picks up the gold, and you rub it on your cheek or on your hair to give it static electricity, and that acts like a magnet to the gold, and you apply it that way. And there's going to be a lot of gold.
If Ben and Vanessa approve of the sample area, Peter then faces the mammoth task of gilding the entire ceiling.
This is all of our books of gold leaf. It's very light.
The gilding comes in booklets containing sheets of 22-carat gold. To gild the central moulding will take about 300 booklets, which could top £6,000.
In my wildest dreams, I wouldn't be in a position to watch somebody who's, technically capable of executing something like this.
Until Peter finishes the sample area Ben and Vanessa shift their attention elsewhere. They're keen to complete another job before their guests arrive in a few hours to see their beloved ballroom.
They just nailed it into the wall.
The couple want to restore an old piece of furniture that's been used as a bar by the previous owners.
We're going to detach it from the wall, take the cladding off, and then see what we've got. Because from the other side, it looks like this probably wasn't a bar at all. It was probably quite a nice piece of furniture.
They're hoping that behind the cladding is an opulent dresser that could make a bar much more in keeping with the style of the chateau.
This is the kind of thing I enjoy. Breaking up bits of wood, brilliant fun.
Ah,
Don't break the door.
I know. Did they really nail it to the furniture?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's lovely. Why would they do this?
That's all going to fall apart.
Okay. I've thought about it over the years as to, do we paint it and I can't bring myself to do it. So I'm just gonna polish everything up, and I have some lovely wine glasses waiting to go into it, which I bought about 2 years ago for this purpose. And we're gonna have some really great parties in here.
Hopefully starting with tonight's drinks reception, as long as the bar is up and running in time. In western France, at Chateau La Grande Maison, Ben and Billy are busy renovating their luxurious honeymoon suite. Now the tiling's completed in the bathroom, they're ready to attempt the tricky task of installing the main attraction, a very large and heavy jacuzzi bath.
These are the kind of days that are really quite scary because, you know, things going wrong is very costly, either for personal safety or for the safety of the things that we've spent a lot of money on.
Has to go right today.
Yeah, it has to go right.
They've decided to call for some extra help from friends Robbie and Tony.
This side has got delicate things that could break if it scrapes as it's going down. That side's got delicate things that could break.
OK, so I'm basically got to look there and there. And
Yeah.
Then that.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
With only a few millimetres allowance, fitting the bath is a complex manoeuvre.
OK, can we sit it there?
One false move and they could chip the expensive tiles, damage the delicate workings, or even crack the bath.
Right, I'm good.
Where are you going first, onto the wood?
Yeah.
Go round me, go round me.
That's it.
Got it?
Yeah, I've got it, I've got it, I've got it, I've got it, temporarily.
OK, coming down.
Oh,
I think that's right.
Is that all, is it?
Yeah. That's actually lined up at the back.
yay,
I'll
well
just
done.
measure it.
Woohoo! It's amazing.
Looking good.
Looks amazing.
So it's not massively heavy.
Just want to get in it.
That's perfect.
Big success.
Yeah,
well
big,
done.
big success. And it's looking fantastic.
Yes,
Absolutely
it
brilliant.
is.
I've been thinking about this for 7 months, you know, planning it all out. In the end, it went really, really easy, so fantastic.
This may have been a tricky job, but Ben and Billy want to make use of the extra help for something much trickier.
And one person's down, passing it to 2. We're lifting a 75-kilogram skylight up onto the roof so we can change the window in the hallway.
The corridor that links the honeymoon suite is in need of a new window. It's the perfect opportunity to get the new glass lifted through the bathroom skylight and onto the roof.
Ready? Good. Actually, that's not too bad. Good idea with the straps.
It's a major operation, really. Heights don't like, heavy glass, risky.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
The glass has taken 3 weeks to custom design and make, so any damage to it would really set them back.
1, 2, 3. That's it. Right, that's it.
Yeah, but now you've
Sorry?
got a tip.
It's going to have to come out this way.
Yes, if you can hold it up. Just square it up a
I
bit.
don't like this.
It's fine there. Right, you ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we go.
Well done.
There we are.
Oh, that's hairy, that.
Nice one, Robbie.
Job's a good one.
And once the old plastic window has been removed,
Hooray! That is fantastic. Look at the light flooding in.
they can install the bespoke glass panel.
Okay, back a bit, back a bit. That's good. That's a perfect fit.
Brilliant work. Now all that's left to do is secure the glass in place.
I'm really pleased with that. That was tricky.
Ben and Billy have completed 2 huge jobs today and are a big step closer to finishing their project.
That's the end of the scary construction part of this project,
Everything
isn't it?
scary's been done.
And now it's just the decoration and adding
Yeah.
on and the functionality of
Piece
everything.
of cake now.
In the Loire Valley at Chateau La Perrière, Karen and Tom are halfway through upcycling an old pool table into a poker table. It's Tom's last day in France, so he's busy finishing the gardening, leaving Karen to complete the poker table alone.
And the final screw.
Her final job is to print classic poker card markings onto the felt.
It's so tempting just to leave it because it looks great. If I screen print on it, I might smudge it and make a mess of it. But it can't be a poker table if it hasn't got card demarcations on it, so I really need to do it.
She's brought their family poker mat from home to copy the layout.
Bit fiddly.
Screen printing usually involves creating a mesh stencil and applying ink over the top, but Karen's taking a shortcut.
I've cut out these sections here, and then the ink, therefore, should just pass through these square borders. So this is a cheats way of doing screen printing. So, test piece. The worst thing that can happen is it makes a mess. I'm nervous even just doing the test, because I want it to work. Guess we're going to find out. OK, it's not too bad. I'm going to need to put a bit more ink on. That's OK.
Now to do it for real.
OK, it's on there now, so there's no going back. OK. I think it's smudged. Oh, no, it hasn't. It's not quite perfect on that corner, but I don't want to risk putting it back down and doing it again. So I think I'm just going to have to live with that. OK. Feels better. Voila! Not bad.
And when the drink holders are attached,
I don't drink beer. Gin for me, all the way.
the poker table will be complete. Karen bought the grimy second-hand pool table for just £80 and has completely transformed it. Husband Paul wasn't convinced it was salvageable.
OK, gonna call Daddy.
Yep.
Time to see if he'll eat his words.
Hi, Dad.
We've been working our little whatsits off on this little baby in here that you were really rude about. And we would like to show you what we've achieved.
OK, I do hope I'm not underwhelmed, darling.
You won't be.
There you go.
Wow, it's blue. It's cool.
OK.
A little bit more Vegas.
So we have little buckets.
Is that my beer buckets?
That's your beer buckets.
Does it still smell like it did when you brought it home?
No, it doesn't smell at all anymore.
God, I hate to say this. It actually looks a whole lot better than I thought it ever would.
Yay!
I think you've done actually very well.
Fantastic.
Well done, guys.
Bye. Bye.
It's been a hard couple of days' work, and with Tom heading back to the UK for college, he's been busy hacking the overgrowth on the hill to give his mum back her view over the chateau. And that's not the only surprise he has in store.
Wow, that's so beautiful. View's amazing.
It's really good, isn't it?
The vineyards are beautiful. It's just an incredible view, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you've made me a tea. It looks amazing. You've worked really hard on that.
Thank you. Now I'm off to college. How are you going to cope without me?
Well, you're going to be on speed dial on my phone.
Okay.
And don't you dare ignore me, because it'll probably be me asking how to start the strimmer. So please don't ignore my calls.
Well, unless I'm in a class, I won't ignore your calls.
I think I'm going to be okay. And I am going to miss you desperately.
Now that Karen's in the driving seat, it's the start of a whole new chapter at Château La Perrière. In central France at Chateau Joli, Ben and Vanessa have just a few hours before friends arrive to see their work so far in the ballroom.
Wow, look Ben.
Wow, that's amazing.
And the sample area of gold leafing on the ceiling is ready just in time.
Can you imagine the whole thing done like this?
You need sunglasses.
No, I won't need sunglasses. It is the perfect background for the gold. Tonight, hopefully, when people come in and just see the little bits, right? They see that hope as to what it can be, that they get it.
It's taken 6 months to get the ceiling to this stage of restoration. There's still a long way to go, but this evening, their guests will be able to glimpse what they're hoping to achieve.
Oh, look at that! Watch your toes. Oh, that's very cool, hun. It makes the gold leaf look just amazing. Tonight will not be about taking cobwebs down. It will be about celebrating with our closest mates. We should charge for them to come in.
All in good time, all in good time.
We can do this. Don't break it.
Six months ago, the ballroom ceiling was covered in cobwebs and grime. It hadn't been touched for 6 decades. Now, it's been transformed. Peter's artistry has brought the ceiling to life. Ben and Vanessa's children's faces are captured beautifully in the fresco, adding a deeply personal touch. The yellow paint they chose is the perfect backdrop for the gold leafing. Once it's finished, the effect will be dazzling. The floor-to-ceiling windows are now bright and clean, so Vanessa can finally enjoy the stunning view. And with the cladding removed, the restored bureau works great as a bar, perfect for a party to celebrate their hard work so far.
I'm just hoping that they come in and they see it and they're amazed.
Time to find out.
Okay, you can all come in now.
Wow.
All right, what do you think?
Amazing.
It's the best.
Well said, man.
Over here is the sample that was just done.
Yeah, it's stunning.
Yeah.
And the gold leaf,
Gold
it's
leaf's
fantastic.
fantastic.
The colours match really well.
Do you see yourself, Matt?
I can see myself in the middle making fortune.
Can you see the grand vision now? Yeah.
I think I'll be honest, I thought they were slightly mad when they first told us they were doing this project, but actually seeing some of the work come to fruition, you can start to see what they're actually going to build here and accomplish. Definitely very proud of them.
Our friends' reaction was exactly what we'd hoped for. The more that people see of it, the less they'll think that we're crazy, and the more they'll think that it's amazing. Maybe in another year, hopefully we'll have a fully completed, functioning ballroom.
Ben and Vanessa have accomplished a great deal over the last few months, but now work is calling them back to the UK.
I know we have to go home, and then it's going to be a while until we come back.
It's days like this when you think, oh, I just want to get out of here.
Yeah.
But we can't do that quite yet.
No.
So
No.
it will come.
Yeah, it will.
Back in Western France, at Chateau La Grande Maison, Ben and Billy are in the final stages of completing their honeymoon suite.
I think it's time, Billy, for the big one, a bed crown.
That's one thing that every king and queen needs. I'll carry the train while you walk down the aisle.
The finishing touch for the bed is an upcycled side table, repurposed as a crown and draped with majestic blue and gold fabric.
Wow, this is great. Your crowning glory. Da, 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 da. Oh, I like that material.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
That's lovely, isn't it? Perfect. Big success.
Really happy with that.
Well done.
Oh.
You're amazing.
A few months ago, this room was in desperate need of love and attention. 100 years of neglect had left flaking plaster and peeling wallpaper. Now, it's been given a new lease of life. Taking inspiration from regal Renaissance colour schemes, it's the perfect room for newlyweds. And their daughter Ella is first in line for a sneak preview.
Oh my gosh.
We've been busy.
Wow.
What do you think?
That is incredible. That's amazing.
Is this what you were expecting it to end up like?
A lot better.
Fantastic. That's always good.
The blue and the gold is just amazing. It's very royal. It's very royal colours.
Yes.
And wow, that bed crown. I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's looking really, really good. Really happy with that.
Yeah, way well.
The ensuite bathroom used to be a shell. With wonky walls and uneven floors, it had to be completely rebuilt. Now the transformation is complete, featuring 2 vanity stations, a luxury shower, and an indulgent jacuzzi bath. It's ideal for any bride and groom looking to relax.
What do you think?
Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. Is that jacuzzi?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. This is amazing. It's so chic.
It's very chic, isn't it?
It's beautiful, I love it.
It's been a mammoth job. So to get to this point is absolutely fantastic, and really proud of what we've done here.
I think another 2 weeks to finish the hall, and this will be ready to put on the website, and we'll be welcoming guests shortly after that, I think. We have 2 couples coming to have a look around the place for weddings this time next year, so it's great to get this ready and in time for them to come.
Next time, at this chateau, an ambitious project gets underway.
It does scare the life out of me.
2 new chateau owners hope to make a big impression.
Now that is Versailles, isn't it?
And this couple take on a delicate job.
It's really important to get this right now, because we won't be having a second stab at this, I can assure you.
Across France, there are thousands of beautiful chateaux, many forgotten and abandoned. Now they're being brought back to life by adventurous Brits. They're taking on the challenge.
Yoo-hoo! It's always fun.
To transform these once unloved buildings
That'd be dangerous.
into incredible homes.
Oh my god. That ceiling is amazing.
And businesses. There'll be triumphs.
We have lights. Oh my god, look at this.
and setbacks.
I was expecting you to catch that one.
But however hard the going gets,
All good?
those who've made the move get to live the dream as custodians of their very own castle. Today,
Looks like a lot of work.
we revisit some familiar faces
Wow.
as they take on an ambitious new project.
But it does scare the life out of me. The prospect of putting it all back together.
New chateau owners hope to make a big impression
Now that is Versailles, isn't it?
as they prepare to welcome their first guests.
I believe this one's kind of almost looks like myself, like a child angel, so it had to go on.
And one couple face an uphill battle
This is mad.
as they tackle a delicate renovation job.
It's really important to get this right now because we won't be having a second stab at this, I can assure you.
For most chateau-owning Brits, the winter months are the toughest. With fewer guests and more time on their hands, it's become a season to work on new projects that could boost their profits in the coming year. Up for the challenge is IT engineer Tim and journalist Rebecca, who bought the impressive Château de la Rouche 2 years ago for £380,000 and have already transformed it into a thriving B&B.
We've been quite surprised by how well the business has gone.
All we've ever aimed for is to be comfortable and survive, and we're surviving. So we, hopefully by doing a little bit of work through the winter, we can be confident about moving forward into another year, which is great. We're in charge of our own destiny now.
Oh, it's a bit
That's
profound.
a bit deep, isn't it?
They live in the Pays de la Loire in northwestern France. When we met them last summer, they had begun building more accommodation and started transforming an outbuilding into a 2-bedroom gîte. But they only had time to put in some skylights.
That wasn't stressful.
As they were rushed off their feet with endless guests.
Chateaux as well.
Thank you very much for you guys for all coming.
Cheers, thanks everybody.
Now, as the winter months are quieter, Tim and Rebecca want to continue the job in hand, starting with replacing the first floor.
The gîte is going to be a 2-bedroom holiday cottage. So on the top floor, there will be 2 lovely ensuite bedrooms and then a really big living room sitting area. And then downstairs will be a lovely farmhouse kitchen and a really lovely boot room. It's all going to be lovely, apparently. I said lovely about it.
Lovely. It's lovely.
Sounds like a big job. Luckily, they have Rebecca's dad, Pete, and builder-mate Dave to lead the way.
So what are we doing? We're going to keep this floor in until we've done this lot and then take... Yeah.
That's what I think the Baldric plan would be.
The first floor needs ripping out, as the original oak beams are not safe. They're cemented in with lime and lath, so they should be fairly easy to remove.
I would loop that round there twice, because it would slide out otherwise.
Although some are trickier than others.
What? Is it all cemented in?
It's nailed in here.
No. Some of the beams have got some bits of wood attached to them, which is stopping them from moving.
Hang on, don't do that, just do this. This will move it. There. Right. I'll do that with every one of them, I'll see get them.
The idea is to lower them to the ground using a pulley system.
All right then, if you put it towards you then, Pete.
So what? I haven't been involved in the plans, so I don't know what's going on.
Need to. I wasn't that prepared for it, to be honest.
The beams seem to be coming down nicely, but this is one job Tim could have done without.
This actually was never in the plan for the renovation here. We were going to use the existing floor and just make it good. So this is an annoying interlude in what we wanted to be doing. We kind of expected to be putting in the new electricity and stuff by now, but hopefully it should end up being maybe 2 or 3 weeks of delay and a fair old chunk of money, but that is completely typical of every job that we encounter here.
Well, at least Dave and Pete are managing to get rid of the floor without too many problems.
Looks like a lot of work. Looks good. It looks amazing. You can really see the building with the beams out, but it does scare the life out of me, the prospect of putting it all back together.
With the beams removed, Rebecca's come to check out the space.
Wow, it looks massive. It looks really big without a floor in. It's crazy. The roof looks awesome.
It's big.
I've got to fill it with furniture. That's slightly terrifying.
No, but once it's got walls up again,
Yes, it'll be fine. But we are going to need quite a lot of floorboards for that space, aren't we? It's big.
Looks like the hard work has only just begun. In central France lies the fairy tale 18th century Chateau La Briance. It came with 17 bedrooms spread over 4 stories and sits in 6.5 acres. The lucky new owners are Dorset couple Matt and Helen, who snapped it up 7 months ago for just £476,000.
As soon as I saw this chateau, I knew this was the one.
Yeah, the look of the chateau is what we fell in love with. The turrets, the princess castle, I guess.
Well, that's it. I mean, I think, you know, my princess has her very own castle now.
Located 20 minutes from the city of Limoges, Matt and Helen own a speedway racing team based in their hometown of Poole. Now they have decided to make a fresh start and want to transform the chateau into a high-end B&B and wedding venue. And they've already taken bookings for Valentine's Day.
So we effectively have around about 8 weeks.
People do look at us as though we're a bit mad that we think that this is going to be done, but, well, it's got to be. We don't really have a choice.
With so much still to do, they have builders on site who are working flat out on the middle 2 floors. The speedway-loving couple want the place to be as flamboyant as their lifestyle, so Matt has decided to embrace a touch of Louis XIV's extravagance.
He's in love with the Versailles-type OTT castle, which, you know, to have a strong wallpaper and things is wonderful, but I just want it to be a little bit cautious.
There's a
Compromise to be found.
a compromise, and hopefully she'll just see that I'm right.
To help keep the work on track, DIY novices Matt and Helen are having to muck in. Starting on the first floor family suite, they've named after one of France's most well-known figures.
Napoleon being so important in French history, this is a major room to us. We're going with a blue and gold wallpaper in here. It's going to be quite a grand room, just as Napoleon warrants, and there'll be, again, features, many different features in the room based on him and French history.
Today, they are tackling the job of attaching a magnificent ceiling rose.
Right, so what do you want me to do?
So, I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of this, and then I'm going to get you to hold it in place while I screw it into the ceiling.
It's a reasonably straightforward job, but Matt is more used to speedway bikes than DIY.
That should do us.
So, you up the ladder first?
So, yes.
They've bought 20 ceiling roses for the whole of the chateau, and this is the first to go up. At around £80 each, let's hope there's no hiccups.
I'm going to get you to check from down below.
It's not central to the hole in the ceiling, is it?
That way?
Yeah.
OK.
Maybe a tiny bit more that way.
Which way?
Same way you went, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
That's good?
Yeah.
I hope you've been doing some your body pump, because your arms are going to ache coming this.
Sadly not, since I've been in front.
Right, let's see how we go.
With the rose positioned correctly,
Pushing it down.
Matt's adopting the gung-ho drill approach.
It's not going in.
What the?
It's pushing it down.
But there seems to be a problem.
So it's moved over slightly.
Right, OK.
These things can happen.
Pull this down first.
It's a good idea to test out the area you're planning to drill first, as you never know what you're going to find.
Right. It's hitting the ceramic tiles, yeah. That's what it is. It isn't a floorboard, so I'm going to need to drill and get through a tile. So you're gonna have to give me a second. I'm gonna have to get another tool.
It should be a simple fix, but it seems the ceiling is hiding a thick layer of ceramic tiles.
You always get the unexpected in a chateau, don't you?
Let's hope Matt's larger power tool does the trick.
Last one, 3 down.
It's working a treat. Now, he just needs to screw the ceiling rose into place. Easier said than done.
Yeah, it's tough. I can't, I'm on the top ladder and I can't see above. I'm little.
You can do it, Matt.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. I love the colour.
And it's funny, when you take these things out of the box, they look so big, but when you actually put them onto a ceiling, they kind of fit perfectly.
Fantastic. There we go.
It's just it's all too easy. I don't know why I've paid other people to do it all these years. This is just so easy.
I wouldn't count your chickens just yet, Matt. There is still a lot more to do. This is the medieval 15th century Chateau Marais. It has 17 rooms and was once a fortress, inhabited by a lord who commanded his own soldiers. Nowadays, it's home to former commercial director Belinda and lighting designer husband Lee. They bought it 5 years ago for £378,000 and ran it as a B&B and events venue.
Never in my wildest dreams did I realise that one day I'd be living and owning a chateau. You can become accustomed to living here, and then when we have guests or visitors or a wedding party, you actually stand back and look at it yourself and think, yeah, you know what? I'm lucky. This is really nice. Because it's a magical place.
It's fairy tale.
It's fairy tale magical.
Located in the heart of rural France, last summer they were swamped with events. Everything from car weekends to fashion shows.
I did not anticipate having to prepare food for this many people.
But they managed to pull it all off in fine style.
Eat, drink, be merry and spend loads of money. OK.
Now, with winter upon them, they have more spare time. And top of the list of jobs for Lee is giving the kitchen a much-needed makeover.
We don't want it to look like a shiny catering kitchen. It needs to work with the beautiful building that it lives within.
They only have a budget of €1,000, around £850, but have worked out ways to keep costs down.
Right, Belinda.
Yes, Lee.
This is the plan.
Right.
We concentrate mainly on this part of the kitchen. 1, there's not enough storage space. 2, we can't get all your cookery book collection together.
The lighting's very poor as well.
The lighting is
It's really
dreadful.
difficult to see in here.
Yeah, yeah. These tiles, look at them, they've got to come off because they're all higgledy-piggledy.
Yeah, they're awful.
There is lots to do, but Lee seems to have it all mapped out.
This is the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
That window there
Yeah.
is here. The surprise,
Yes.
the Brucey bonus, is an extra shelf. Along this back here, we can have 2 shelves, one here and one slightly higher up.
So seriously, that's very high though, isn't it? Would have to be for display.
Don't go away. You will be stunned, shocked and amazed by what I'm about to reveal to you. All your life you've wanted one of these.
Can't imagine what it's going to get.
It's definitely intriguing. Even Misty the dog has perked up.
Shut your eyes. Have you got them closed?
Yes.
You know what I said to you last year?
Yeah.
It was always difficult to know what to get you for your birthday. Well, I've solved that problem this year.
What is it?
Ready?
Yeah.
Don't open them.
No.
Now you can open them.
Ah!
How pleased are you?
That's lovely.
Would you care to try them out?
Well, It's certainly a practical solution.
Ooh.
Mrs. And
It's filthy up here.
Now, Lee just needs to put his plan into action.
It's really important to get this right now because we won't be having a second stab at this, I can assure you. So we're going to do it now, we're going to do it properly.
Best of luck, Lee. – 130 miles further north at Chateau de la Roche.
Right, come and have a look at this tree with me and tell me what you think.
Overnight storms have caused havoc to Tim and Rebecca's tree-lined avenue.
I'm a bit sad about it.
I don't even know where to start with that.
No, but yeah, it's just something I didn't really want to have to worry about right now.
No, because it kind of needs dealing with, doesn't it?
Yeah, but sort of sooner rather than later, because it's not very safe.
2 of their huge ancient oak and lime trees have fallen foul to the weather.
Yeah, it's pretty epic.
So this one's made a bit more mess.
Yeah.
It reminds me of being in London when we had the hurricane.
Yeah.
And going into Hampstead Heath and all the trees just being ripped.
What amazes me is that obviously the roots go underneath the drive. I think we've been quite lucky that it hasn't pulled up the entire drive.
Look how massive they are, just to snap off.
It's just a massive shame. It's just another job on the very long list of jobs to sort out.
But we're not equipped to deal with that. Taking little trees down and logging stuff is fine, but we can't do this. So we're going to have to get someone in to deal with it. So it's going to be a financial hit.
So we'll have to find someone who can come in and do it for a price that isn't inflated massively because we're English and have a chateau.
Yeah, the English chateau effect when they turn up and...
Give you a price is quite typical.
But there is some good news. Their Gîte project is gradually coming together. The first floor is now up and the floorboards are almost laid. While on the ground level, they've taken out part of the wall where they want to create a kitchen and put in French doors.
The room is kind of is an old stable, has one window in it, and we need to get some more light into the room. And Rebecca wants to kind of make it a route out into the garden as well, so we can kind of bring a bit of the outside in. And kind of the best way to do that was to put some French doors in.
It's a great idea. But before they can fit the doors, they need to support the walls with lintels.
So have you had a look at any of them to see what we need?
Yeah, out of all of them so far, I've got 2.
Tim and builder-mate Dave want to make them out of the old oak beams they removed from the first floor.
Because that one, by eye, looks like a really nice one, doesn't it?
Yeah. So we dig that one off, then?
It's a smart move, as not only are they solid, but it won't cost them a penny.
Well, these ain't got any lighter, have they?
No.
They have chosen 2 of the best ones, but still have to cut them to size.
OK, so I'm cutting it off at this end, then?
That's 325 there.
OK.
Dave gets to work with Tim's trusty chainsaw.
Very graceful, Dave.
With the first lintel piece cut, it's now a matter of manoeuvring it into position.
Chuck it up on the
Hold
middle.
on. No, should we get it? Let's get it onto the beams first. And then we can both get on there and just...
Let's just hope they've got their measurements right.
Probably going to be too big. What did we cut? 325? Yeah, it's going to be too big.
Got a bit off it.
Hey? I think so.
We've cut it and brought it in and then decided to actually check the measurement afterwards, which is standard. And, and it's ever so slightly too long, which is better than being too short.
It looks like this job is going to take its time.
126.
OK, so it's in the right place.
In western France at Chateau La Briance, speedway racing lovers Matt and Helen need their B&B and wedding venue ready for guests in 12 weeks. Having started to decorate their Napoleon suite with a grand ceiling rose, Helen's now been given the task of sorting out the lighting for the whole chateau.
There's so many parts to these chandeliers, and the first job really you need to do is to put all the arms on.
She has 5 of them to construct as they arrived in kit form. Having spent well over £1,000 on chandeliers, Helen feels she is best suited for the job.
Matt is He's not hugely patient when it comes to putting together things, so it doesn't matter if it's a piece of garden equipment or a piece of furniture or something like this. He really hasn't got the patience for these sorts of things. Matt can never read the manual to things, and then he wonders why he doesn't understand why it won't work.
The chandeliers are all part of the plan to give the chateau added grandeur. And they are not the only thing being put in for extra wow factor. Matt has put several large statement pieces of art in the entrance, hallway and dining room. The works are based on famous paintings, and some have been created by artist Connor, who's already starting another one on the first floor stairway.
We were always wanting to have something different in our chateau, rather than just having, you know, prints and paintings. You know, of course, Connor is a tattoo artist by trade and also heavily influenced by graffiti art. And I believe this one's kind of almost looks like myself. It's angelic, like a child angel. I based this one on myself, so it had to go on.
And why not, indeed? Connor is using a mixture of spray paint and acrylics. It's an intricate job that takes time. And time is definitely one thing in short supply, a point not lost on Helen.
I think the last few weeks of our countdown to our first guests arriving, there's going to be so many jobs to do, so many things to put together. It's probably going to be 18-hour days or something, 20-hour days.
Let's hope your efforts will not be in vain.
Here we go.
Whoa, fantastic.
Helen's handiwork is ready to take pride of place in the Napoleon suite. Fingers crossed it works.
You did well to carry that in. It's ever so heavy.
My arms are aching a little bit from yesterday.
Right, I'm going to come up slowly. Right, I've got it from the bottom. No problem.
Sit, right. Hips on.
The moment of truth.
There we go, big reveal.
Whoa, fantastic. Like Blackpool illuminations.
Looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Yep.
Brings out the gold.
No, that is Versailles, isn't it? That looks fantastic. It's made such a difference to the ceiling completely.
Progress is being made in the Napoleon suite, and some of the decorative touches in the chateau are coming together.
It's amazing. Yeah, another one. Keeps pulling them out the bag.
It does.
But there are lots of bigger jobs to tackle before this place gets finished. In central France at the medieval Chateau Marais, Lee and Belinda are hoping to renovate their kitchen with a budget of €1,000, about £850. While Belinda searches for bargains, Lee wants to ensure nothing goes to waste.
But I want to take a bit of care, because what I don't want to do is damage this infrastructure, because I'm reusing it. I'm just going to cut it down a bit.
As well as the wooden framework, he's also keeping the existing electrics, so he needs to be careful of those too.
Just need to loosen these terminals off, and I reckon that's the last of it. I've written a couple of good wallops, and I'm in champagne territory. Hey, Belinda.
Yeah?
Come and have a look.
Ooh.
So
that looks different, doesn't it?
It does, and wait till you get the new tiles on there. It look really fresh.
Yeah.
With all this repainted.
That didn't take you
Those
as long
lovely
as
shelves.
you thought, did it?
An hour.
That's
I reckon an
brilliant.
hour and 20 minutes.
And you thought it was going to take for ages.
Yeah, I did.
So I'm researching taps at the moment, just to try and find out what might be the best one for us.
Don't forget, we're aiming to get this in under
I know,
€1,000.
which is- well, I know
And
that.
I know you're keeping a tab on the money so far, aren't
Yeah.
you? Yeah. OK, so at the moment, we're on budget?
Just about.
Just about.
It's so far so good, but they have also received a guest booking for a week's time.
I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, OK.
So they are now under the cosh to get it finished before they arrive.
It's actually really put the pressure on me because obviously I've got to get these things bought that we need for the kitchen double quick.
With no time to waste, Lee starts getting rid of the old ceiling lights.
I found a nice worktop, I think.
Is it quick?
I think so. I'm just glad to see it off the ceiling.
That'd be dangerous. Oh, no, I hated it. Every time I walked in here, I kept looking at it and going, yeah, I hate that thing.
Lee wants to put up 2 new sets of lights, costing £275, so he can't afford to damage them.
Do you need me to hold anything?
No, not at the moment, but I will need you to help me.
That's nice, that light.
Those pliers, can you pass those pliers? And there's some green
These
earth
yellow
sleeve.
pliers?
Yeah, those ones. Here, you can take those. So, hang on. Could you take that screwdriver for us as well?
Cotton?
Yeah, Tom.
But even for a lighting designer, working at height is not that straightforward.
Oh, don't.
Really difficult.
I'll hold your legs.
Just make sure my trousers don't fall down. You think I'm joking? No.
Luckily, it goes to plan.
Right.
Shall I put the kettle on?
What, for that celebratory cup of tea?
Best to keep it quick, though, if you're to stand a chance of getting this kitchen finished in time. Just 45 miles down the road, Matt and Helen need to get the bedrooms ready before they welcome their first guests. Most of the bedrooms are starting to take shape, like the Napoleon suite, which has now been wallpapered.
Yep, you bring that one.
And today, it's all about the carpet. With so much to do, Matt's helping with the underlay alongside Lewis and Matthew, carpet fitters from the UK. It's a massive job, as they have 3 days to carpet 11 rooms. Although they seem to be making light work of it.
I think what perhaps we can do is get this done in a day, then I can rent these 2 guys out to some French people.
With the underlay down, it's onto the carpet, which has been stored in an outbuilding.
Spin it over. Yep. That's it. And then stop. We've actually gone with a dark grey, just as I imagined, and a nice colour. I think it should suit every room.
There is a whopping 320 square metres of it, and it's going to take some shifting.
We're actually going to use the van. It makes it a little bit easier on our backs.
Lovely job.
You all right? That's it, go.
That's great, troops, over this way, I think.
Having now taken a back seat, Matt can finally see his vision for the Napoleon suite coming together.
It's great to watch, guys. I've waited 9 months to see this going down, so it's lovely to see.
On the ground floor, Helen has a project of her own, making scatter cushions for the bed.
I'm taking the easy option with my cushions and not putting a zip in, so it's an envelope cushion, you call it. So you have 1 square for the front, and then you have 2 panels for the back so that they overlap slightly and fold it into each other so you can get the cushion in. So the first job is to hem the 2 back pieces, as they'll be on show. I've already upholstered a chaise, so that was done in England. I just did the finishing touches of that yesterday. And then I'm going to make the throw to match to go on the bed.
Helen has been busy and saved a small fortune in the process.
You put the longer side on first, so that when you turn it inside out, that will be the one that shows, and then the other. And then just pin it in place and go around the edge. I did used to make clothes and things when I was a teenager, and so I've always done sewing, but upholstery is definitely a new thing. Right, so we just trim the corners off with a little triangle so that when we turn them inside out, you haven't got a bulky piece in each corner. Give them a good push so that they're nice and square. then we just pop it inside. And there we have our finished cushion. Definitely not worth paying £15, £20 for a cushion in a shop.
It's definitely a fantastic way to keep costs down. And with the carpet now laid...
Wow, feel that.
My goodness me.
They're finally moving one step closer to finishing their first room.
Yeah, it looks great.
It does look good. Another job done, so just the boys have got another 10 more to do.
180 miles further north in the Pays de la Loire...
Right, Dave, what's the plan?
It's all go in the outbuilding. Tim and builder-mate Dave are still trying to fit in an old floor beam they're planning to use as a lintel.
Yeah, can I go to you at all?
Yeah.
How much do you
Would
need?
you believe I just need the shamp for the top?
Yeah?
Yeah, but to do it, we're going to have to take it out.
Until they can support the wall above, they can't put in the French doors for the Gîtes kitchen.
Right. That's all it was, seriously.
After 2 failed attempts, it's third time lucky.
Right, let's just sit it on the column first. There we go.
It's touching my end and your end, but not the middle now.
But it's still not quite perfect.
Next time you say let's just use a bit of old oak, we'll go and buy a metal beam.
All right, then.
It's coming together exactly as expected, to be honest. Because you can measure it all, but then actually the wall's not square, nothing's square, and you kind of, it'll fit in one place but not in the next place. So it's absolutely fine. It's gone in, it's pretty level, it's pretty straight, and it's going to do the job we want it to do, which is the most important thing.
To make sure the above wall is fully supported, they're adding a steel lintel and are going to sandwich it in place with another oak beam.
And this one by eye has got an ever so slight curve in the middle of it, isn't it?
While the boys gear up for round 2, in the chateau, Rebecca's gearing up for ways to decorate the gîte.
One of the things that you just don't think about when you decide you're going to renovate an outbuilding and turn it into a gîte is that actually you have to furnish basically an entire house from scratch. So I'm trying to be a bit organised about it.
It's all in the planning, and Rebecca knows exactly what she wants.
So the inspiration for the gîte is kind of French farmhouse, so a bit more rustic than the chateau, but still very luxurious. A lot of the furniture in the chateau is quite dark wood and very chateau-y, whereas this is going to be a bit more pared back and more painted finishes and more kind of matte, natural finishes as well.
She's already got her first project, a chaise longue she picked up for €50 or around £42. And she can't wait to get rid of the fabric.
This is quite gross, this furniture. I think it must have lived in a kitchen or something, because it's a tiny bit greasy and there's a lot of crumbs down the back of it. So as I'm pulling the fabric off, the crumbs of someone else's life are falling onto my floor, which is a bit grim. Right.
Rebecca is using varnish stripper on all the wooden parts to give that rustic look. Once it's softened, she can start removing it.
Yeah, I'm loving the way this is coming up. It's you can see the natural wood, and it just looks a lot nicer. And once I take this fabric off and replace it with something a bit more linen-y, a bit more country, it's going to look lovely. I'm excited. It's good. I'm really pleased.
It looks like Rebecca could be on to a winner. Back in the gîte, it's taken 4.5 hours, but Tim and Dave have finally finished putting in the lintel.
It's not quite straight, so we're going to just pack it in the middle with mortar, and then we're going to clamp them all together so that everything sets in the right place, and we're good to go.
It's been a gargantuan effort, but it's another small step towards renovating the outbuilding.
I'm very confident that it's all going to hold up, but obviously there's always a slight concern that it's not quite as good as you think it's going to be.
Putting up a lintel for the French doors is one thing, but with a kitchen build, ensuite bedrooms to construct, and decorating to do, this is going to be a long old job.
We had two choices. We had do the rooms in the house or do the gîte. We chose to do the gîte, and it's proved to be quite a mammoth task. And with hindsight, I think actually doing some of the rooms in the house might have been the better decision. But we shall see. It'll be lovely in the end.
It may take a bit more time and a lot more hard work, but if anyone can pull it off, it's you guys. In central France,
Right, I'm just clearing my work surface off now.
Lee and Belinda are putting up lights in their new cut-price kitchen.
Look at that, it's a thing of beauty, isn't it?
It is actually, it's
It's
lovely.
nice, it's not
beautiful.
bad, actually.
And they seem to have left the most complex one until last.
The problem with getting this up is it weighs quite a bit. It's an odd shape, and I've got to hold this, get the cables into those holes there, and screw it down and then offer it up, all with just two hands. So what Belinda's come up with is an ingenious death trap that we can put a ladder here with a chair on top that will support the weight of the light, so I'm not in any danger. And that gives me a free pair of hands to wire it in.
Oh, ow.
It's quite lightweight.
This could be interesting.
Right.
It can only go one of two ways.
Are we really seriously doing this? Right.
There's no turning back now, Lee.
Your new Christmas present.
Ah!
See what I mean?
Yes!
Even Belinda's surprise gift is being given a new purpose.
This is mad.
Do you know, up there for thinking, that's not bad, is it?
Yeah.
Books?
No, okay. Yeah, books now. Let's do the book thing now.
Or, even better, this wooden bread bin.
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. I think 3 Jamie Olivers and a Paul Bocuse, and we've done it.
It's not the most conventional method of putting up a light.
It's time to unveil this work of art.
But if Lee manages to support it so he can attach it to the ceiling, it will have paid off.
I need about 6 inches of cookbooks.
Right. Even one of those?
One of those is better. Yeah, because they're plastic. If it falls over, it won't break, and no one's going to get hurt. This is sheer madness. Oh, mon Dieu! Mon Dieu, Belinda! We've done it. I think we've cracked it.
Let's just hope he can now fix it without any problems.
Well, I hope it all works after this.
Oh, there we go.
Right. Thank you.
After adding the bulbs, both new lights are finally up, so it's time to test them out.
Ready?
Yeah.
Steady.
Yeah. Oh, look! That's really useful lighting now, isn't it? Because you can angle those, obviously, where you need them. And that's lovely. That really looks nice. Love the colour. Lovely. Good job, Lee. You'll be really pleased.
Relieved.
That's lovely.
But with new guests due to arrive in a week, there's a whole host of other jobs that need doing.
There's loads more to do, and actually what we really do need to dash off and do is order the worktop, the sink and the taps, because there's a lead time on those and we need to get those ordered if we're to get this kitchen finished in time.
Looks like this project could be going down to the wire. 45 miles down the road, Matt and Helen are busy transforming their 38-room chateau into a luxurious B&B.
Let me move it across.
With all the carpet laid, they are eager to finish off the Napoleon suite.
If I lift, I want you to line it up.
Starting with reattaching the bedroom door.
Okay? Ready?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, that looks pretty good. Oh, oh, oh.
Nope.
No, off.
On 1 and off on 2.
The door needs lifting onto the hinges, but it's proving to be anything but straightforward.
Oh, brilliant. Let's see if I can do it by myself. How are we doing? Stop there. Okay.
It's not far out, is it?
No, that's acceptable. Except the door's locked.
Oh no!
Except the door's locked.
Where's the key?
Not a clue. Well. Oh, there we go. Jeez, that was a little bit. Just needed a bit of brute force, that was all. My goodness me, that was a panic.
Crisis averted, they can finally start dressing the room. It's been a lot of work, but Matt and Helen are now close to completing the first step towards making their chateau dream a reality. Just 6 weeks ago, this space was in a state. Now, it's been transformed into an elegant and grand guest suite. From the ceiling and chandelier to the carpet and Helen's handiwork.
It's lovely to have a big Super King bed. Finished with the shades and the throw. Colours work perfectly. I'm so pleased with how it's turned out.
While nods to Napoleon give the room its identity and add to the sense of grandeur.
Everything's come together really well. I'm really happy that we've got to the point where the first room is done. It's ready to go. It's a champagne moment. Just tremendous.
It's a great effort, but a lot of the other bedrooms are only half finished, so they need to get their skates on if they have any hope of being ready for their guests on Valentine's Day in just a few weeks. Next time, more familiar faces return as they take on a big demolition job.
Your face, you look like a ghost.
Matt faces up to his next big challenge.
So at this point in time, you start praying that the screw's taken and I've done my job properly.
And Belinda and Lee go in search of bargains.
Have you got your measure tape with you?
No.
As they size up their next move for the kitchen.
Lee, that is just a bit bigger than my phone. This is 1136.
Right, if that's millimetres, Brian, that's 4 foot, and your phone is not 4 foot big.